Hello, my friends, and welcome to the land of the rising manga that is the Asian Zone. I'm the Adman, and welcome back to my Is It Worth the Import series. Now, Type Moon is one of my favorite game companies in Japan right now. Not that that's saying much, but still.
What I like about them is that despite a lack of genre variety, I do see them as a very passionate group. And while that passion does lead them to creating too many damn blonde heroines with big swords, it also leads into the creation of some great things. In particular, the series that helped put them on the map, Tsukihime. A legend amongst early doujinshi games and visual novels, this series has some of my favorite characters in the Type Moonverse, and yet it's kind of gotten the shaft when it comes to its adaptations. Its promised remake has yet to surface, and it still hasn't gotten an anime adaptation.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't!
Yet, despite that, its spin-off fighting game series Melty has actually been faring a little better. Along with a few drama series, one of which we'll discuss in just a bit, it's gotten a couple of sequels, as well as almost as many expansions and ports as the Street Fighter games. Recently, the latest version of Actress Again was put on Steam. If you want to know my thoughts on it, just go check out one of my old reviews.
And you'll probably want to play it anyway, because this manga takes place after the events of that game. Will this hold us off until the Tsukihime remake finally comes out? Not likely considering Kinoko's taking so damn long to write it, but let's take a look at Melty Blood X anyway. Wanna take a read?
This manga was actually based off of a drama series that was packaged with the third volume of Type Moon's own personal magazine, Type Moon Ace. It expands on the story with some additional scenes, but otherwise stays true to its source material.
It's also worth mentioning that there was a Melty Blood manga that came out before this one and even shared the same illustrator that followed the game storyline, which supposedly takes place in a completely different timeline than this one. I say supposedly because, well, they do reference it, but we'll get to that when we get into the second volume.
The cover of this book features the main heroine of Melty Blood, Sion, and that's about it. She's just doing some weird-ass pose with her fingers. I think she's trying out for the Bullet Club like Homura was last time, but she's way off with the hand sign. Whatever the case, this is a pretty generic cover that tells us absolutely nothing about the manga we're about to read. I'm actually far more intrigued by the back of the book that features a chibi version of my waifu, Satsuki, looking at a mysterious pyramid object, and would you know that it has something to do with the story here? Well, I'm sure for the next cover, they'll fix this all up and damn it. Our story opens on a mysterious pyramid in the middle of Misaki City. It looks like it's about to swallow the city whole. However, fret not, my friends, as the Back Alley Alliance is on the case. Yep, the fate of the city is in the hands of a struggling comedy trio.
Well, we're boned.
For those who don't know, the BAA is the team of Sion, Satsuki, and Rizubai, who are all characters from Melty Blood, who all became friends over the course of those games. To go over each of their individual backstories would take a while, so just go play the games if you want to know more about them. The main thing you'll want to know about them, as it is a driving force behind this manga's plot, is that despite each of them being legitimate badasses in their own right, they're also penniless and living in the back alleys, as the manga shows through a flashback to the day before. Sion and Reese lost contact with their respective organizations, and Satsuki probably lost her parents.
We won't know until they actually release the Tsukihime remake with Satsuki's food intact. Could you just hurry it up already, kiddo? Go!
Sorry. Anyway, in order to improve their living situation, Sion puts together a robot that will build them a new place to call home. She asks the ladies if there were anything that they'd want as a part of their new home. Rias requests a freaking concert hall to practice playing the cello in.
Anything else I can get while I'm in town? Any other crucial requirements that need satisfying?
While Satsuki simply asks for something resembling her old room. Best girl right here, damn it. Sion takes their request and programs the robot to start building, so things are looking up for the trio. That is until that night, as they discover a giant pyramid where the back alleys used to be.
Okay, so either Anubis is back and attempting another convoluted plan to defeat Yugi, or Sion forgot to turn off the end of the world function on her robot. Either way, I'm getting my god cards ready.
Akiha and Kohaku arrive on the scene to explain the severity of the situation. Along with the main pyramid, several smaller pyramids are appearing all over the city and slowly starting to absorb it. Hisui gets right to work on evacuating the city, making the excuse that they're recording a scene for a kaiju movie.
Well, I just hope they actually show the monsters fight and not waste a bunch of the location shots that they had to close down the roads for. We don't even have a monorail. Get your back straight, Hollywood!
Meanwhile, the BAA, Akiha, and Kwaku enter the pyramid, finding a floating staircase with apparently some familiar BGM playing.
Mario じゃない。
And unfortunately, since none of them collected 100 coins beforehand, they'll have to play on a no-death clear run. Well, as long as their control schemes aren't based off of any of the DS games, then they should be fine. If they are, they're screwed. The group advances with the exception of Kohaku, who's left to act as lookout. But of course, for anyone who knows their Tsukihime lore, it's never a good idea to leave Kohaku alone to her own devices. We'll see her again later, but in the meantime, the BAA arrives at the first trial, which is Satsuki's room. Yeah, at first it doesn't look like much. That is until a certain troublemaking feline makes her appearance, Nekoark.
Which, by the way, I haven't seen that lazy cat around for a while.
Say, Miss Nickelark, were we ever going to get around on making that top overrated anime list, dude?
Patience, my fellow sardine lover. We have to wait until that fandom finally dies down before we can make our move.
You're just being lazy, aren't you, dude?
So what if I am?
Well, whatever. I'm gonna start making my own list right over here, dude.
Anyway, Satsuki doesn't take Nekoark modifying the recreation of her room all that well, though on the other hand, Ria seems to enjoy having the fourth wall breaking kitty around. Oh, not because she wants to pet or anything, oh no. Quite the opposite actually. She finds her so disgusting that she wants to pull a Hiyoko on her and, well, in her words,
Squish! Squish!
after quickly creating a no violence in the room rule, Garfield's annoying cousin challenges them to fight for the right to proceed through the pyramid. The challenge being simply to make the others submit. So, unless we're talking about her React version, this really shouldn't be much of a challenge. However, Nekoark does have a secret weapon, Satsuki's diary. Obviously, the writer of the book is ready to give up as soon as it's pulled out, but her friends convince her otherwise. I think they should just tell her that she should be glad that her diary wasn't used in some stupid Battle Royale knockoff. Anyway, after withstanding a few pages about Satsuki and her hopeless pursuits of the boy she likes, Nekoark allows them a chance to retaliate, knowing that they can't use violence against her. However, after tricking her into leaving the room, the no violence rule no longer applied, and Satsuki got some sweet revenge against the space cat that even Kyubey would call obnoxious. Unfortunately, she still had extra lives, but they were still able to lock her out of the room and proceed with their mission. While searching the room for any clues that might help them advance through the pyramid, they're joined by Arquade. And apparently, just like her key body double, she enjoys invading the privacy of underappreciated pigtailed waifus.
Oh, hell no, you did not just invade my privacy again!
Amongst their mischief, they discovered that the stairs that they used to climb up to Satsuki's room had shifted upwards, leading to a new room. Satsuki asks Arquade to stay behind in case Shiki comes and prevent him from entering her room, as she thinks it's too early to let a boy into her room. Have I mentioned how much I love this girl? She's just so damn adorable. Anyway, the group proceeds to the next room, which is Rias' dream room. Yeah, for Ruby-style cello weapon didn't make it obvious, Rias loves music and retracts any previous plan she had of saving the city and just wants to live in the damn pyramid. You know, for a character who was introduced as a total badass and an actress again, she's quickly become the goofiest character in this whole damn cast.
Tight Moon, think DBZ degrades its characters too much? Take a look at our crap!
Anyway, it's at this point that the most predictable thing is Kihime-related story happens, and Kohaku pulls a heel turn, setting up a mahjong table in the middle of the concert hall, and challenging the girls to a game, despite female Yamcha's objections to messing up her stage. However, after she casually pulls out a switch for a few dozen C4s, they have no choice but to play along. Oni Kohaku, my friends, Oni Kohaku. The game begins, but Akiha throws in a special rule just for Kohaku that says that she has to wager her own blood for this little game. You know, I think I'm starting to enjoy this new season of Saki. Of course, Kohaku bails on this sudden death game and blows up the C4s, ending the first volume on a cliffhanger. Craziest part about this book is that unlike the Madoka book from last time, these characters weren't really flanderized significantly. This is the Tight Moonverse for you, my friends. Anyway, this series so far has been awesome. I'll save my final verdict for this series when we conclude the story, but for now, this is a really well made manga. The characters are right, the conflict is enjoyable and over the top, and the art is fantastic. That said, this story, as I alluded to earlier, is definitely more for the Melty Blood fans, so I suggest first playing the games and then judging for yourself whether this series is worth your time or not.
There's only 2 volumes to this miniseries, so next time we'll take a look at... Was I able the Melty Blood manga just a minute ago? Next time we'll do a light novel review of Danganronpa 0.